Hello and welcome back to the Under the Umbrella podcast. This is the 13th episode coming to you from the Big Green Umbrella Media Studio. I am one of your hosts, Cody Williams, Cityview reporter, and
Tammy Pearson, Iowa Living Magazine's editor.
Tammy, how the heck are you?
I'm the heck good. How about you?
I'm the heck fine.
Was the sun shining out there when you just came in?
It was shining. It's quite nice out there, despite having a still a little bit chilly, but good enough.
Yeah.
Good enough to not have to wear a coat or a hat today.
And I've got plants budding in my yard.
Oh, really? They're budding?
Yes. I have bushes that are budding out, and I have leaves that are coming up. And my neighbor has daffodils.
Daffodils?
Blooming. They're early bloomers, but this seems rather early.
How do you feel about dandelions?
The bees love them, and therefore I love the dandelions. I
'Cause
like the pop of yellow.
It is a nice, but they're weeds, aren't they?
Yes, and my neighbor is not happy with my willingness to let the dandelions grow, but hey, they're growing.
They're growing. Yeah, I think I brought in some dandelions to my grandparents to give it to my grandma. And he was, are you bringing weeds into my house? I thought it was pretty.
I bet Grandma was happy.
She loved it.
Oh,
she loved it.
Thank you, Cody, for the flowers.
Well, just to give a little tidbit about myself this morning, I did just come from an interview for a future upcoming Cityview story. That's pretty exciting. That was fun. I was at the YMCA assisted housing campus, or supportive housing campus, I should say, downtown. Got a great interview. Got to tour their facility a little bit. They're doing some amazing stuff down there.
You know, I've heard a little bit, so I'm looking forward to your story and learning more about it.
I'm excited to put it together. That'll go out in May.
We've already done April.
We've done April.
Oh, wow.
Wow. The time is flying.
Yes.
And might as well mention it now. As of Sunday, I'll have been here a year.
Your 1-year anniversary, and it seems like just yesterday that you came in and joined our staff.
Popped in with a bright pink polo on and made my mark.
Well, I approved.
Oh, thank God. Thank God. But I just wanted to make note of those two things.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I wanted to gloat a little bit. Well, let's jump right into the news that we have for this week. Governor Reynolds signed House File 2612, which included the overhaul of AEAs and teacher raises. We won't talk about that too much because it's been spoken about at length. But some two other fun pieces of news that I found. Local dog Molly was returned to their owners after being away from home for 5 months. Story via KCCI.
Where did they think Molly was?
Well, so apparently she was spotted several times just throughout the metro. People saw her running around. Lord only knows where she had been, but someone finally, I think she wandered onto a farm. I may be wrong, but wandered onto someone's property or land, and they scooped her up and got her back home.
5 months. That means she was out there during that bitter weather we had.
That nasty cold. Maybe somebody, I don't know, maybe not, someone probably didn't take her in and then let her back out. But I thought, how's she getting food? I mean, dogs are smart, probably.
Right, but
found some way to forage.
Wow, I'm so glad Molly is home.
I was one of the most scared I've ever been was when our dog Money, who was a greyhound, we had a big cornfield behind our house that we used to live in, and sometimes we would just let him out there and he would just, tear off and do sprints in it and then just come back and then we would go. But one day it was over a big hill, and at the top of the hill there was a deer, and Money was off the leash, and he was just far enough away that we couldn't run and grab him. And we looked at Money, we looked at the deer, and the next thing you know, he took off in a full sprint after the deer.
Oh.
And I was like, well, he's gone forever. Because you'll never catch them, greyhounds. They can't run for too long, but he ended up trying to follow the deer that hopped over a barbed wire fence. That was the farm property. Hit the barbed wire fence, fell over onto the other side, and we had to carry him in a blanket back and take him to the animal hospital.
Oh no!
I thought we was going to be missing forever, but found him. He had a big scar across his chest. He lived for a long time after that, good couple of years, but that was terrifying. So I'm happy for those pet owners that got Molly back.
Oh yes.
And another story from We Are Iowa, or Channel 5, about the 40% of DMPS students are chronically absent, which is considered 10% of the school year, a.k.a. 18 days out of the, I think it's 180 days in a school year.
Wow.
18 days.
Is astonishingly high.
I think part of it has come from, it wasn't that bad pre-pandemic, and then kids were at home, and then they stay at home probably more often than not, or not more often than not, but more often than they would before. And apparently the number is down from last year.
It's improving.
It's improving.
Wow.
But how much school would you reckon that you missed in a year, Tammy? At the most?
Well, not much. I was, pretty, well, my parents wouldn't have liked my staying home.
Yeah. I think, you have a fever, you miss a day here, you get like a little stomach bug, you miss maybe a day or two. And those are excused absences. I don't know if I should have delved a little deeper, but if that 18 is included in excused absences, whether it be for sick, illness, or whatnot. But yeah, I feel like I would maybe miss a total of a week at the absolute most of school throughout a year. At the absolute most, and that was probably maybe a year. I had like strep throat, missed a couple of days.
Well, I think back to my childhood. Of course, that was the days when Mom could stay home, and things are different now. There's a lot more stress on families and different circumstances that I'm sure contribute. But you know what I say about it? I say it means those families need some support.
Mm-hmm. I wonder how much of that plays into a lot of parents could probably, well, maybe not a lot, but more parents from before can work from home nowadays too. And maybe that just makes it easier.
I wonder. Maybe they don't want to get out of their pajamas to get the kids to school. I'd be like, I don't feel good.
You stay home. Tell your teacher to fax me the homework.
Right.
That was all I had for news headlines. I thought those were interesting. We're going to dive right into sports. A lot of Iowa sports going on at the moment. Big news. Caitlin Clark was offered $5 million by Ice Cube's 3v3 league. Do you know anything about the 3v3 league, Tammy?
No.
It's a league that Ice Cube started that is all former NBA or former college or, big name kind of players like that. And they play in a 3v3 league with like a different rule set. It's pretty popular. He offered her $5 million. I think it was for 10 games total. And she can still play in the WNBA afterwards, after that is up.
Wow. Is she committed to that, or it's just out there?
It's just out there. No word yet if she's going to do that or not. I think that would be really fun and interesting. I think it's surprising that it hadn't been, probably it's because, she's such a superstar, but there's other women's players out there that I think could definitely do some damage in that league. But $5 million for 10 games.
If only I could do math, I'd figure it out, but that's a lot, yes.
Yeah. And you can still, I think you're still playing the WNBA after.
Right.
So I thought that was interesting. Wanted to make note of that. TJ Altsberger, Iowa State men's head basketball coach, is in the running for men's coach of the year. Caitlin Clark is obviously also in the running for women's college basketball player of the year, but TJ's up there for the vote with a couple other head coaches. I thought that was exciting. And Iowa State plays against Illinois tonight, the 9 p.m. tip in the Sweet 16.
Can't miss that.
9 p.m.
But that's kind of late.
Very late.
I'll have to set my alarm so I can wake up.
Yeah, and they're playing they're playing in Boston. So their game is tipping at 10.
Well,
don't they have school tomorrow? Don't they have class?
That's right. It's a Thursday night.
Either way, would you stay up for a 9 p.m. tip, or are you going to watch?
No.
Up next, more basketball news. Drake men's basketball head coach Darian DeVries is heading to West Virginia University. He'll replace legendary head coach Bob Huggins, often in the light of controversy, and his son Tucker, who is Drake's leading scorer and quite possibly NBA bound next year after his senior year, also entered the transfer portal, along with a couple other of Drake's big name players are all going to enter the transfer portal, probably leave now that Darian's leaving as well.
That's too bad.
It's a big hit for Drake. That's a big hit for Drake, and that's the transfer portal being so open is really hurting schools like that kind of keep guys for 4 years, really build them up. I think it's two of their leading scorers, Tucker and their point guard, both leaving, both going somewhere else.
May I say that the term transfer portal is very sci-fi-ish. I picture these players entering this room and being beamed to another team.
As long as Tucker gets beamed to Iowa State, all well and good with me.
Okay.
But, yeah, that was all I had for sports in Iowa. Pretty interesting stuff there.
Yes, but even more interesting is the entertainment you've got.
Tammy, why don't you tell me about the first line in entertainment?
Whoa. Pink is coming to Des Moines.
Yes.
Wells Fargo Arena in October.
Oh, are you going to get tickets?
I got to find someone to go with me, Cody. But if I do, I'd like to see Pink.
That's got to be a great show.
Oh, it has to be.
It's Pink.
She's a heck of a entertainer.
She is, and
her music is good.
She's got great music. She's got. I mean, if she's on tour, she's probably released some new music as of late. I guess I haven't been too tapped in.
Neither have I, but I like her older stuff.
Mm-hmm. Let's fight. I want to start a fight.
Oh, that's a good one. Mm-hmm.
That was the one I always remember.
My favorite is Try, and my second favorite is Just Give Me a Reason. Those are my top two.
That's a great that's a great one. But big names keep coming to Des Moines, coming to Wells Fargo to perform. Maybe it's the new Neon Lights. Gotta be. Next up, the Stuffed Olive downtown is moving just across the street, right across the corner, to a new location at 216 Court Avenue, where the district used to be. That building had 3 bars in it, and I think all 3 of them closed.
Yes.
For various reasons. But that'll be good. I think that's really good for the Stuffed Olive. They're a little bit nicer, a little bit classier of a place, and I feel like they would always get hit with a lot of traffic from people going to Voodoo, which was right upstairs, if you've ever been down to that area, and they'd get a lot of spillover, and you'd have people who were just going there for like a nice dinner, and then you'd get kind of like the rowdy club-going crowd of people going to Voodoo spilling in, and it was just, I think if those are separated and something else can go downstairs, I think that'll be really nice.
Sounds good.
Stuffed Olive. Martini, you ever been to the Stuffed Olive? I think they had, what was it, like 113 different martinis on their menu?
I have never had a martini.
Not even one?
No.
I'm sorry. They look good. They got crazier ones.
The glasses are really fancy.
They are little.
Like to have any kind of drink in a martini glass.
Oh, yeah. I don't think I've had a martini either, come to think of it.
Let's get a martini someday.
Let's get a martini today.
Take Amanda and maybe some coworkers and
let's get some martinis.
Yes.
We'll tour the new place.
Awesome.
Of the Stuffed Olive. And
yes,
this weekend, Godzilla and Kong, Godzilla X Kong, the new Empire opens this weekend at theaters all across the country, including the Metro.
Whoa.
Are you not excited, Tammy?
I am excited.
They're incredible. Those movies are getting better and better.
Be perfect to eat some popcorn and watch Godzilla.
Love just a big bucket of popcorn, a huge Diet Coke, some crunch, and I'm set. Speaking of crunch, Tammy, with Easter coming up this weekend, this Sunday, right?
Oh, yes.
I would love to hear your top 5 favorite Easter candies.
Top 5.
Give me your top 5.
The hollow chocolate bunny has got to be at the top. The
Okay.
chocolate is usually not very tasty, but there's something that brings me back to my childhood when I crunch into that hollow bunny ear.
It's good.
Peeps, okay. They get a bad rap, but I'll eat a dozen Peeps at a setting.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, the classic Cadbury cream egg. Can't beat it.
Nope.
And, of course, Reese's has some kind of holiday candy for each occasion, and they have their Easter eggs. How can you beat that?
Mm-hmm.
And number 5, the Cadbury mini eggs.
Oh.
I just love unwrapping those little things, popping them in my mouth. They're delicious. May I say one more thing?
Please.
Bunny corn candy is out. Give me a break, please.
You like the candy corn?
No, I hate
Oh.
candy corn. Why subject us to anything similar for Easter?
That's true. It's not. It's just waxy.
Yes, it's
Mhm.
disgusting. Don't tell me that's on your top 5. Okay, let's hear it.
It's not. It's not in my
Oh,
top 5.
shoot.
We actually have very, very similar top 5s, just
Oh.
in different orders.
Oh, okay.
So I have Peeps at 5 on mine.
You have Peeps on your list.
I do have Peeps on my list. I loved Peeps
bless
growing
you.
up.
Yes.
My sister Walker loved Peeps and always had Peeps, and I would always try to steal one. Just take a couple here and there.
Big brother.
Mm-hmm. Number 4, I had Cadbury cream eggs.
Oh,
At number 4, I always liked those just a little bit more than Peeps. Number 3, I had Kinder eggs, just the standard ones, kind of, palm sized or whatever.
are they solid chocolate? What
No,
is that?
the Kinder eggs,
I've not heard of that.
they'd have the little toy inside,
Oh,
and they got outlawed for a while because kids were choking on them.
yeah, you're eating a chocolate egg with a candy in it.
Well, just don't eat the toy inside. I feel like that's pretty straightforward. I don't think
Have
that's
to
hard.
Be a big egg.
They're pretty small. It was always a small
Well,
toy.
then, yeah.
They changed it, I think, to make it so you can't. I don't know what they did, but they're back. They've been back for the past couple of years,
Well,
and I rejoiced. Number 2, I have the chocolate bunny.
okay.
I got it at number 2. I love the chocolate bunny. Yeah,
Hollow or solid?
it's got to be hollow
Yes.
because the solid one is just too much.
It is.
I got a solid one year, and I was like, I don't think I came even halfway close to finishing it. Those big ones,
Oh, yes.
I was like, I can't eat this anymore.
I'd finish it. I don't care how big it is. That bunny's going to be gone.
And then
And your top?
Reese's eggs, the Reese's peanut butter
Oh,
eggs. That was at the
gosh,
top.
yes.
A big peanut butter fan. That one's at the top for me.
Yes. Well, we do have similarities then.
Yeah, very similar.
That means no matter what candy I bring, you're going to want to snatch some out of my pile.
That is true, unless it's an Almond Joy. Or no, what's the one with coconut in it?
Almond Joy
Oh yeah,
and Mounds.
Mounds. I do not like Mounds. I'm not
Okay.
a big coconut fan. Everything else I'll
Oh.
enjoy.
I love Mounds.
Oh.
But I'll share my candy with you.
Oh, I'd be honored,
Okay.
and I would take it. But I just wanted to get your opinion on that. With your top 5 favorite Easter candies, I'm glad we're in pretty similar alignments.
We are.
And then coming up
What-
this weekend, yeah.
What's coming up?
Why don't we'll split it? Let's split it.
Oh, no, please.
Okay. Well, coming up, the 53rd annual Juried Student Exhibition. This will be going on this entire weekend through the 5th, April 5th, at the Anderson Gallery at Drake. That is a Juried Student exhibition of student works from the university. A lot of great artwork on display that'll be judged and given out awards for. The Iowa Wolves play the Austin Spurs Friday and Saturday night. That'll be fun if you're looking for some semi-professional basketball to break up all the college basketball that's been going on lately in Iowa. The Highland Park American Legion is back with their Bingo Fridays. They just reopened after their building was hit by a car back in last November. They're all repaired, ready to host events again. So I wanted to give them a little shout out. They spoke to me and gave me some information, and they do great work at the American Legion. And there's tons of Easter egg hunts that will be hosted all across the metro. Anywhere you go, look it up. I'm sure your neighborhood would be hosting one, or you can go to anyone that you can find. Look it up. You know how to use the internet.
I do. Easter egg hunts are just amazing because there's all these eggs, and the little kids just go running out, and those eggs are picked up like in my hometown. 2 minutes, tops, and it's done.
That was one of the first stories I did when I was in Tama at the newspaper. It was a nursing home. Nursing home would host a Easter egg hunt every year, and that was one of the first things I covered. And the whole town came out for that. It was great.
Oh,
a ton of people. They filled that building, and yeah, they said we spent an hour and a half hiding all these eggs and putting them all over the yard. Done in 5 minutes. I was sprinting around trying to get pictures of kids, and I was I can't get any of it. None of this is usable.
I've been there too, taking those photos, and it's like, hold on.
Slow down. Somebody show me an egg. But yeah, plenty of fun stuff as always to do in Des Moines. Check it out. And I think that'll do it for us.
All right.
We want to say thank you for listening from the Big Green Umbrella Media Studio and listening to the Under the Umbrella podcast. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. You can read Cityview stories at www.dmcityview.com and subscribe to the Daily Umbrella at www.thedailyumbrella.com/subscribe. If you have a story suggestion or would like to make a comment, you can send those to editor@dmcityview.com. Thank you and goodbye.